The Crypt interviews in association with Mayo Leisure Point Castle Bar.
You're listening to The Crypt, and I'm delighted to be joined on the show this week by Zoe Kavanagh, co-writer and director of Taryn Barker, Demon Hunter. So you're very welcome to the show, Zoe.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, could you give us a bit of history about yourself and your journey into filmmaking?
I started getting into filmmaking about 10 years ago. I was in Ballyferma studying television film, and I shot a few music videos on the side. I did a video for My Dying Bride, which was basically like an experimental short with a guy in purgatory, and I just threw it on the internet, and it ended up getting like hundreds of thousands of views. From then on, I just started looking for bands, and I was just like, I didn't need a shot list or a script. I just had a visual style. I just wanted to kind of get out there, and so I just contacted a few bands, did videos for them, and I spent most of my time doing music videos for bands, and then the odd short film. Then after that course, I did a year in cinematography in Ballyferma before going to do a 4-year degree in IDT Dunleary.
Taryn Barker was your first feature film then?
Yeah, that was my first feature directorial debut, yeah.
Cool. Well, it's part of the lineup for this year's Horathon in Dublin, so could you give listeners an outline of the story?
So Demon Hunter is about a girl who's brought for question by the police over the murder of a man who she claims, he was a demon and there's something bigger going on, and the police think she's crazy until one of them starts to realise this is the same girl he made a promise to years ago that he'd find the guy who killed their little sister. And now when his daughter gets abducted, he needs her help in rescuing her from a demonic cult. And then we start to realise there's this other world out there, like a world of demons and, demon hunters, and it gets more fantasy orientated, yeah.
Well, I watched it during the week and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so good. And you threw a Buffy Easter egg in there. So was she an inspiration for the character of Taryn?
The funny thing is, she actually wasn't. To be fair, I did grow up watching Buffy, and I knew that. The main inspiration for Taryn, before I get to the Buffy thing, was mostly like Devil May Cry, the video game, and I would say the Resident Evil Underworld movies, and comic books like Hellblazer and Blade and all that, and I was just kind of music, metal music as well, all this different things, it came to mind, and I knew that as a fan of Buffy and the prosthetics and all that some of that was an influence, and I knew that she was a different personality than that show, but I felt I need to acknowledge that. Oh yeah, I know of Buffy. I watched the show, and here's a little nod. Yeah, but because that's pretty defining. Because whenever someone thinks about a girl that fights monsters, she's like the top of the list.
The first person that comes to mind. And then, how did you come up with the name Taryn Barker?
It was two things. It was Clive Barker, because his books and his Hellraiser and all that, all this demonic creative stuff that his stories he's told, like the Books of Blood, and so I wanted to use his surname. And Taryn was actually a name from Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. There's a character called Taryn who's she's like a junkie, but in the dream world she fights Freddy. It doesn't really last long, but I thought the name Taryn was a really strong name, and it wasn't very common. So yeah,
she's one of my favourite characters in Nightmare on Elm Street. Taryn, Jennifer Rubin, who played her, she was on the show last year. She's so nice.
Hey, did you ask her this question before continuing? Did you ask her about the fact that she was in Dream Warriors and then she was in that other film, Dreams?
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. And it was basically the same film. And I was wondering, if I had a chat with her, I'd ask her, did you not acknowledge that you were doing the same film twice? Like, but that's neither here nor there, bro. Anyway, back to me.
Back to you. Back to you. Well, Taryn was played by Niamh Hogan. Now, did you audition many actresses to find your Taryn?
Yeah. Okay. So what happened was, we had shot. When I was in college in 2012, I was like, okay, I had to make a grad film, but then I wanted to make a feature outside, and I wanted to do it on a budget consciously. So I had written the script, the feature script for Termark Demon Hunter, and so what I did was I used 12 minutes of it, and I shot 12 minutes of the film when she's younger and her sister gets abducted and dies in her arms and all that jazz. But I shot it with Jay Asieva, who was playing Taryn at the time in the short. And then I saved up money. We shot another action scene. And then in 2013, we shot half the movie with that actress. And I'd saved up money to finish the rest of the movie in 2014. She pulled out 2 weeks before the shoot. All the sets were being built, and all the money was on the line. And so I had 2 weeks to recast the lead. I had to remake I already shot half the movie, so I had to remake that again.
Oh my God.
It was tough, but like we had put up a casting call to reach out to people, see if we can cast someone right for the role. So we had gotten dozens, like so many emails, like it was overwhelming. I couldn't get through them all. I literally had to, because like 4,000 people saw the post.
Genie.
And yeah, we had a few good names like that was in the running to play the role, and it was a tough decision. There was a lot of deciding factors. There was a factor. One thing that Niamh had going for her now was she's a really good actress, but she does her own stunts. And to me, that felt, that's so much easier than having to handle, someone with stunt double and, all this stuff. So it was just kind of, it was a package that was worth, talents that was just had what was needed for a movie like this, and we just got really lucky with Niamh. And as you know yourself, she's incredible in the film.
She is. She's great, because that was actually what I was going to ask you next was about, because there's loads of fight scenes in it. So had she much training to do for those fight scenes?
Yeah, there was weekly sessions of choreography between her and the stunt choreographer, and there was a few other stunt performers in it. But there was like twice a week, once a week. But there was a lot of choreography in the plan for it. I know though that when we were shooting in Charlottesville Castle, we didn't have enough time to do the choreography for the final fight, but we worked the best we could. But going in to shoot all the extra stuff, like seeing the fight at the start and fight in the middle of the movie, we prepped a lot into that. And yeah.
Now, you mentioned Charleville Castle there, so could you talk about the locations you used in the movie?
Yeah, one of the most important things I felt about when I was writing the script with Tony, it was just like it needed to feel big, it needed to feel open, and I also kind of wanted to build the geography of the world of the film so that you kind of feel like, I know it's filmed in Ireland, but you don't want to, when you watch it, you don't want to really think that you're in Ireland. You want to think you're in the world of that movie. So it kind of created geography, like the castle's actually just down the road in the film, but like power stations, castles and cities, and there's this whole urban fantasy aesthetic that I was going for. Leela, the production designer, did a great job of like helping with some of that and building the sets. But yeah, I mean, we shot in Charleville Castle for a week, and we were in Ardgillen Castle and Pigeon House Power Station and all these other places. Yeah, I mean, it was really important for a movie like this, just to kind of prove, like, for my first feature, to kind of show that I didn't want to make some film set in one room. I wanted to show that I could do scale or take a risk at it, and just kind of show people this is what you can do on such a small budget if you actually take a chance,
And you funded the film yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, all out of my own pocket. There was a there's a few grand here and there from the producers and whatnot, but like most of it was 93% of it is all my cash. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I tell you, when people see this, they're going to be so impressed with what you've done. Definitely. Could you tell me then about the special effects that you used?
Yeah, it's a mixture of prosthetics and CGI. I mean, most of it was, making the film, I didn't want to make the film feel dated because I knew with the budget that I had, if we had too much CGI, it'd look shit. I wanted to kind of make it look decent, so I was like, okay, I'm a big fan of 80s movies and a big fan of retro synthwave, and like, the music has a lot of that, and I was like, I wanted the film to kind of feel like not exactly like an 80s film, but to feel like not a modern film, and so it was to our advantage, I guess, was to do prosthetics and people in suits as demons, and that's the best we could approach it. Now, we didn't have the biggest budget to pull off like crazy out there things, but we did.
It was great.
Did some cool. Yeah, there was like suits, like and there was molds of people's faces, and the art department were unreal. We had like Owen and Francesco and Evan. They were all just like top of the game. Like, I mean, these people come out of college and just like I mean, Ireland's filled with some of the best like in the art department, but they're never utilized in Irish cinema. Seems just like, what can they do? So it was kind of great that this film was getting made.
Well, there now, you mentioned the 80s movies, and that was one of the things I loved in the film, was when you're coming up to the climax and how the hero, you'd always see in the 80s movies the hero getting suited and booted for the big battle, like Alice in Nightmare on Elm Street 4. So when Taryn's getting ready to go, I love that bit. That's just remind you of those movies, like, it was really good.
That was completely stolen from Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Well, it was right, though.
The photograph and all that. Yeah, that was absolutely... That and Rocky 4, where the two of them were kind of an influence for the montage, because I love those moments. I think...
Yeah, you never see it now.
You don't see them often nowadays. Well, there's not a lot of heart in them nowadays. You might have a generic score, and there's not the power that you get in the 80s films. There's not the linger on the music. And I think, or even like you look at The Crow, even does it, and The Crow's a more serious film, but like it's, the music is an important element of it, and it's the feeling the power of, they're going to kick ass, and even in Nightmare 4, when she has all the photographs of all her friends who are victims, she gets all their strength, and she's looking at all these photographs on the mirror, and she pulls it down, and then she feels the anger and strength. That's exactly what Taryn does. But I just felt like that's an important moment in cinema. And you look at horror films, for example, like James Wan's film, The Conjuring 2. I mean, all those scares, like, and just use that example because a lot of modern films do, and they worked for the benefit, but they always take these elements that work from previous movies and they make it their own, and that's kind of what art is. It's like an inspired expression of stuff you grow up with to create something new, and that's kind of what I was trying to do with this film. Was kind of give people my imagination and what the type of stuff that I dig, and hopefully other people will see that, and like, as you know yourself, you exactly get the movie, and that's pretty awesome.
This is the great thing about a lot of independent films coming out now, is like people of our age who grew up watching all these movies, they're coming of age now to make their own films, and there's so much 80s influence in it. I'm loving it now at the moment, some of the stuff that's coming out. Yeah. Like,
there's a few I'd name that I really like. I love Turbo Kid, I love Hobo with a Shotgun, I love all those movies. Like, there's so many more, and it's just kind of, and all those directors, they're all in their like late 20s, 30s, and you're just like, this is it. People are of that age that are making films that they loved, and
when I was watching it, all I kept saying to myself was, I can't believe this was made in Ireland, because you never see anything like this in film or TV. You've done such a superb job. Do you think Taryn will see a sequel?
I hope so, because the sequel was written before the first one. We had we actually had an idea for like 5 stories, but even if it was just 3, it'd be incredible. I mean, I'd like to shoot the second one sometime late next year. It really depends on how well this does on DVD and Blu-ray, you know, when it comes out. But it's definitely something that I'm passionate about, and I just hope that the audience clicks for the film, because as it goes out to the world over the coming months, we'll see if people latch onto it. That's the next independent franchise, because it is coming out of a grassroots place, so it's a lot harder for it to break through, particularly when you're in a country that, because the government won't support movies, well, the funding parties won't support genre films like this. You know, it's tough to kind of, you have to do it yourself, and then you have to find outside finance to do it, and you have to find outside distribution to do it, because there's no support here. So it's kind of a challenge. It really depends on international sales to make it as an international sequel.
And when are you hoping to have it out on DVD and Blu-ray?
Oh, well, it should be spring 2017 by Left Films for UK and Ireland, and then other territories. I can't confirm anything right now, but I mean, like, hopefully we'll start doing a few independent screenings before the release date of the on video release.
Well, as I said at the start, it's on the lineup for Horathon this year. So anybody who wants to go and see it, which day and time has it been shown?
It's on Saturday, October 29th at 11:30 at night. Now, understand, it's a perfect midnight movie, and it was also pushed up. It's sold out. It's screen 2 in like 5 days, and it's being pushed into screen 1. So I mean, I don't know how much tickets are sold now, but I'd say, if you want to get a ticket, get it in the next coming days, because I don't know, it could be gone, could be not.
That's a great complaint to have.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm glad that certain people have responded. Well, anyone that I've known that has watched it has really, really loved it. But it's really tough, when you send out to festivals, and you'll send out to 50 festivals, you might get into 10, and you just sometimes you get disheartened about it. And then when you hear someone say they really like the film, you're like, oh wow, maybe it is actually good. Then you rewatch it and you're like, no, it is good, I like it.
It's like anything, some people love it, some people won't, you know what I mean? So just focus on the ones that love it.
Exactly.
So then what's next on the cards for you now?
Well, I'm trying to get I have a short film coming out soon. It's a really disturbing drama horror about a transgender character who wears a mask because delinquents threw acid in her face, and it's kind of like an urban Cinderella story twisted, kind of like a horror film. I can't really say much more. When it's finished, it'll be out there. But aside from that, I'm trying to get another movie off the ground. We'll see how that goes, and then probably Demon Hunter, Devil's Night in September, October next year, if things go to plan.
Awesome. Jeannie, that film sounds really good that you're going doing. I think I'll be a bit of a fan, Zoe Kavanagh. I'll be following all your work. But then, can people follow you online? Have you a page or anything where people can kind of keep up with your different projects?
Well, I know that the Demon Hunter one has Tamworth Demon Hunter. You can follow, on that. But I do have my own Facebook, and I haven't created a website yet for my work. Well, actually, I have a YouTube, which does a lot of my promos are up on there. If you just type in my name in YouTube, it'll just be the first thing that shows up. Just type in Zoe Kavanagh in YouTube, you'll find my page and all my stuff. And then you find me on Facebook. I'm active on that all the time. And then eventually I might make a page, but on Facebook. But I always get paranoid that it's kind of egotistical, to kind of have your own filmmaker page,
God, you need to use the social media to your advantage. Do you know what I mean? So not egotistical at all. Get it out there, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'd say anyone that's in Dublin this should really go to Horathon. It's a great lineup this year, a lot of great films. And what's really good about the Horathon, particularly this year, is that all the independent films that they've picked they've all been, completely grassroots independent cinema, and none of them are, like, from Ireland anyway, and none of them are, like, studio funded Irish movies. And I think that's important for, us to actually have a festival that kind of shows that, that supports genre pictures, because it's tough, because we have a country that has basically lost DVD shops, so it's kind of a dying thing. I don't know.
Zoe, thank you so much for coming on the show, and well done with a great movie.
No problem.
And I really wish you the best of luck when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray.
Cheers.
The Crypt interviews in association with Mayo Leisure Point Castlebar.